So I tracked every cent that we spent, every yen that we spent living here in Japan, and did that for 3 months. And I've averaged out how much it costs to live here in Japan as like a normal person. We don't have high paying jobs. We don't go out to eat every night. So yeah, so let's look at those numbers. I have it broken down into like 10 or 11 different categories, and I'm just going to go through them. In the food category, we spent about 50,908 yen. At the time that I put this through the converter from yen to USD, it came up at $355.01. So in this food category is like food that we got from a grocery store or a drugstore, and that's where we do like all of our shopping. So for 1 month, about 50,000 yen. And next category is outside food. So this is food from a restaurant or from the konbini. You know, if we are going to go somewhere and we just wanted some quick drink from the konbini or whatever, it landed in this category. And the 3-month average was 23,306 yen. And for that in US dollars, I got $162.53. So yeah, again, this is just from the konbini or from a restaurant. The next category I have is like daily items. So this would be, you know, toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, or makeup, or something obviously you would use daily. And in this category, I have 5,265 yen, or about $36.72. Next category, I have commute or transportation. Right now we're in the countryside, and this is mostly gas. In Tokyo, we would pay for like our Suica cards, our train cards to go anywhere. For commute, for gas for the month, we have an old car that doesn't get very good gas mileage, and I got 20,500 yen, which is about $142.96. The next category is like clothes, or if we go get a haircut or whatever. And that category, I have 11,196 yen, or about $78.08. If you're gonna go to the salon, it's pricey. Next category is hobby. In this category are like my Japanese lessons. I very fortunately can take them for very cheap in the countryside. And I also take some art lessons sometimes. In the hobby category, I have 5,910 yen, or $41.21. The next category is rent. Usually our rent is 45,000 yen a month, but while tracking this, we did have to pay like a renewal fee because we had been here for a year, and so that's when the contract was up or whatever. And that was 10,000 yen. So in the rent category, I have 48,333 yen, or about $337.05. So rent, very cheap in the countryside, much cheaper than we were in Tokyo. But even when we were in Tokyo, it wasn't that bad. So our rent in Tokyo was about 140,000 yen. And whenever I converted this, 140,000 yen was $975. And that was for a 2 LDK within 10 minutes to Shibuya and Shinjuku. The next category is utilities. So our utilities were kind of high because this is from October, November, December. So just getting into some of the colder months. It came out to 51,760 yen, or about $360.95. Also in the utilities category is like our phone bill and stuff like that, because basically you have to have that at this point. I think also there may have been like a double electricity bill in there because we were late paying, so that may have skewed things a little bit. But next category was medical, and in the medical category That was 15,447 yen, about $107.72. We went to the doctor during this time. We had some sort of medical emergency. Also, dentist trip in there. Not so bad. The next category is tax. And so if you live in Japan, if you've lived here for more than a year, you have to pay residence tax. And unfortunately, it's based off of the previous year's income. We were paying taxes for the salaries that we were getting in Tokyo rather than in the countryside. And for that, I have 20,704 yen, or about $144.38. Something you have to pay if you're going to live in Japan. The next category is for our dogs. So this includes food or vets or anything related to them. In that category, I have 23,697 yen, or about $165.25. Vet visits aren't that pricey. Dog food can be a little pricey, and I've only been able to find it in the smaller bags, especially for the brand that they eat. Then I have an other category, and this is just for like the odds and ends that don't fall into any of the other categories. And so in the other category, I have 5,553 yen, or $38.72. I think what falls into this category is I had to renew my visa. I think that was like 4,000 yen. Not terrible, but other things that just didn't really fit into any of the other categories fell into there. So in total, we had 282,580 yen. That was for 2 people living in the countryside with 2 dogs. Obviously, we try to live more frugally, I guess. We don't always succeed, but yeah. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Hopefully this helped you get an idea about how much it really costs to live in Japan as an average person who only goes out to eat sometimes. And I guess like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions.